It's a disgrace here. There should be an investigation. This is what's wrong with boxing. This is what chases our great fans away from this great sport.
Stay tuned to the end of this edition to find out how to get a free Boxtalk t-shirt, which will be given away with a little competition.
Yeah.
How you doing, everyone? My name is Ryan and this is Ade, and welcome back to another edition of Boxtalk. It's time for This Week in Boxing. Loads of news, a lot of fights, so let's get it started. Let's start briefly with Friday night. Shagayev defended his WBA regular piece of crap against a one-round blowout. He's gonna fight, I think it's Frederick Quendo again.
Yes.
Question I like to say, if one thing I don't talk about the fight is worthless.
Yes.
What power does it give the WBA by having a world champion that's not even ranked top 15 in the world, then defending against a Quendo who's not ranked top 20 in the world? Why do that? It doesn't help the division, it doesn't help the belt, it doesn't help the sanctioning body. What's the point behind it?
Absolutely no idea. I'll be honest with you, because I kind of knew that question was coming, so I was thinking of an answer prior to this, and I couldn't even think for one. Yeah. I actually couldn't think one. Like, if Shagayev was telling me he was going to fight Lucas Big Daddy Brown, who's been asking for this fight, I'd say, okay, fair enough, he's fighting an unbeaten fighter, there's something in it. I don't get it. I don't understand what they're doing.
I'm not going to go into the whole argument again right now, but there's a lot of these regular belts floating around right now for the WBA. A few of them have been legit. When Froch had it, he was fighting credible people. He was always fighting guys who were in the top 5 of the division. So, yes, he wasn't the champion. Andre Ward was a champion, but at least Froch was fighting at a certain level. So
it's diminishing the belts now.
Yeah.
It's got to a stage where I think a European heavyweight title or a Commonwealth heavyweight title
has more credibility than the WBA regular.
Exactly.
One thing
we're gonna get Andy Joshua versus Dillian White for the British fight. We're gonna talk about that one later. That belt has more credibility because they're both ranked higher than Shagayev and Quendo.
One thing I'm gonna say, and please don't edit this out, this is not an insult to the fighters. If a fighter's been given a belt, they'd be mad not to take it. If I was a fighter, if you were a fighter, someone offered you the regular belt, you would take it. Because it guarantees you TV time, it gives you money. It's not a dig on the fighters, this is a dig on the sanctioning body. Liam Walsh won.
Yes.
I thought it looked good. Commentary was a little hard on him, saying that it was kind of close. I thought it was a good performance, given that the guy, he's fighting like the 3rd or 4th replacement. The guy was a spoiler and knew how to spoil well. Each time Walsh threw a jab, he threw a jab, so it kind of neutralised each other. And it kind of made the fight, it fought a good pace, but it was uneventful until Walsh got the stoppage. But I thought it was a good performance.
I like Liam Walsh. We interviewed him at the O2, I think it was. And we said, look, well, he's not on Twitter. He's not on Instagram. I don't think he's on Facebook. He doesn't promote himself well, but he's a fighter that is unbeaten. You know what I mean? And I feel like I would like to see him against Matchroom Stephen Smith. Stephen Smith, already talking about world title fights. I think Liam Walsh causes him problems or even beats him. An unbeaten fighter is an unbeaten fighter for a reason, and I think they need to move him on quickly.
I think Liam Walsh is very balanced overall. Good composure and
everything,
and he's got no ego, no cockiness. Now I'm trying to speak to him after the fight, or just when we had a chat with him, we were off camera. We were all talking and having a good laugh for a good 15 minutes. You get to a point where it's just like he's just a normal, humble person. I think if he gets the opportunity to transcend with the fans, that will come across.
I think he's talked about moving up a weight possibly for a big fight. I think there's still fights out there. Stephen Smith is the one, then move.
This fight was at 135, I think.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it was at 135. I think.
That's a lightweight division. Interesting.
Moving forward, Paul Butler won, got a 5th round knockout. Again, good performance. As I mentioned in the previous video, it wasn't the most high profile performance, but Paul looked smooth. He looked relaxed. He looked comfortable. He was never in frustration. He was fighting in first gear. Fighting half gear. Half gear. And I think it was just more of a confidence builder, just to get a couple of rounds and just shake off that loss. So yes, I was predicting a blowout, but we got a blowout. Just wasn't as early as I thought. I think he might benefit better from going 5 rounds than it was if it was a 1 minute first round blowout, which means nothing. Especially now with the Callier 5 fight. Looks like it's going to go ahead next. You know what I mean? And I think Butler actually needs a fight before your fight. But look, that fight. Well, look, let's be honest about the Butler fight. We kind of done a build up for it, and we said the guy who's fighting him was ridiculously overmatched here. So. It was nice for him to get a few rounds. Could have got the stoppage earlier, but I think he wanted the rounds. He could have easily stopped him anytime
he wanted. And I'm just happy for him to get a win. And now he's back on that horse again.
Okay, let's go to the main event. Terry Flanagan versus Cepeda.
Catterall had a good fight in that card as well.
Yeah, they did. That was a six round stoppage. 6 round.
I can't remember. I think it was
6 round stoppage. The eye was all destroyed. Yeah, not a bad fight as well. Terry Flanagan's Peter. The fight, okay. For the first round, there was nothing in the first round. There was nothing in the second round, but there was a hint about maybe 30 seconds to the end of the fight that Cepeda might have hurt his arm. I'm gonna leave it at that for a second and then tell me what you think.
In what sense? What do you mean?
Okay, I'm happy for Flanagan. I'm happy for Flanagan. I'm happy that he won.
Yeah.
The way he won, I'm bloody confused. I am confused. Cepeda's injured.
Yes.
Goes to the corner.
Yes.
I've seen fighters with injured shoulders come out and win.
Yes.
Short fights continue. The doctor stopped the fight.
Yeah.
So you got an injured shoulder. And then instantly, it was announced by the commentary team that Flanagan is the champion.
Yeah.
Oh, that ain't going to points. Ain't going to the scorecard. It's under 4 rounds. Nothing happened. They're talking about he's won the title, and then they said because the injury was caused by himself, the belt will go to Flanagan. And I thought, how's the injury caused by yourself? You could see on the replays that both of them threw left hooks and their hands linked in together, and that's when the injury happened.
I'll be honest with you, I've watched boxing for 20 plus years, but understood the rules properly for the last 10, 15 years. Understood it. Like, something happens, and I better tell you straight away, that's good. I was confused.
Yeah, I was confused.
I was watching the fight and thinking, either a no contest.
Yeah, thank you.
Either a no contest or go to a scorecard.
Yeah.
I thought it's too early for a scorecard because, it's only 2 rounds pretty much.
Yeah.
But then when I heard the commentary said he caused the injury by himself, I thought,
how did he cause the injury by himself?
Did he just break his own arm?
Did he hit the turnbuckle
and said,
broke his arm?
We're done. I mean, look, for Flanagan, and I'll give him huge respect because after they said, he said, look, he wants to rematch straight away. Yeah. I think I can beat this guy because I know a lot of people have said, look, me and my team are going to sit down, we're going to look at what we're going to do. So I respect Flanagan. Frank Warren ain't doing that rematch for love nor money anytime soon. That title is now in Britain. That's a legit lightweight title. It stays in Britain for a long time.
But for me personally, I'm like, okay then. I'm a boxing fan. I know boxing well enough, and I'm trying to say, I know, like you said, I know the rules since I was bloody a kid. We all know what's going on. I thought the commentary team was very poor in the way they didn't explain what's going on. If you're just a casual fan or if you're just someone watching the fight, there was no explanation of how it really, what the rules or what the terminology was. Or what, he just he hurt himself, so here you go. And all the commentary was based solely on Flanagan's the world champion. We won.
Being the way sport is, it'll be forgotten in a couple of months, and he'll have his defence. And Cepeda will probably get a rematch after he had his voluntary, which I think will be against someone British, for an all-British fight, and then it'll be Cepeda again, and it'll make a good fight. I thought Flanagan was doing well in the first fight anyway, enough for me to think, something interesting here. But no way he wants to win a world title.
He seems to be getting off first.
Yeah, it definitely seems to be getting off first.
He was definitely getting off first, and I'm trying to say, and he seemed relaxed. And a few times Cepeda landed on him, there was no power or no shock or no surprise. Obviously, it was early rounds, so you can't really take too much into it. But it was surprising. Yeah,
I just hope Cepeda isn't one of those other American fighters that have these amazing KO records, and then when you look a bit deeper, you can't find no one on the record apart from Victor KO. Apart from that, I was looking on the record as well. It's like, who's there? But you know.
Let's go with Lundy versus Herrera. Another fight with a controversial decision. Apparently, I ain't seen the fight yet. There's no coverage of it. I tried to find it this morning, couldn't find it. Apparently, Lundy's winning the fight.
Yes.
There's a clash of heads early in the first round or second round.
Second, I think.
It goes round to the fourth round, past the fourth round, goes into the fifth, then they stop it then.
Yeah.
And goes to the scorecard.
And then you know who won.
And then Herrera won. Now, Herrera's been on the bad side of a lot of decisions before, so it's nice for him to get a decision. But it doesn't. Yeah, thank you. 2 rounds doesn't make it right. Yeah. Doesn't mean it's right. Doesn't mean it's fair. Yeah. By all accounts, Lundy won that fight hands down.
Yes. Lundy was winning the fight. Look,
you can see it.
Yeah, no, YouTube. Dodgy as hell.
Yeah.
There's no two ways about it. It's dodgy as hell. There was a cut second round. He could have stopped it then.
Yeah.
He could have stopped it then. It's almost like they thought, let it go to the
Yeah, like they done with Amir Khan and bloody Barrera.
Yeah, we'll go to the scorecards. And even Herrera camp, I've seen things after the event, and they said, "Yeah, we've got we've been on the end of dodgy decisions."
Yeah,
well, that's not how boxing works.
I'm trying to say.
Lundy's not thinking that. Yeah. Lundy's thinking this is my chance for something right now.
Why can't boxing just be fair? Why is always some sort of way around or something? You just can't have a consistent decision by the judges and referees and the sanctioning bodies and the commissioners that say, look, this is what it is, black and white. There's always a grey area.
Yeah, no, there is, and it's a shame. But again, like we've said just before, a couple of months' time, it's going to move on. No one's going to give a damn. Lundy's going to be fighting bums again, or small hall shows in there.
If Lundy got the decision he deserved, he would have been in a position to make good money and come into big fights. Now he's just coming in with a loss, and as you know in boxing, no matter how you lost, that loss affects your pay packet for your next fight.
Yeah, unless you're some marquee monster like a Cotto who lost, forget it. If you're a Lundy, with all due respect to Lundy, then you're struggling for your next fight still.
On the undercard of Thurman Collazo, Willie Nelson versus Tony Harrison.
Yes.
Prospect versus former prospect, but a guy that can pull it upset.
Yes.
Was a one-sided fight until the 9th round. And it just kind of shows. I thought both could make. I thought Nelson could make a statement in the division until he got caught and got literally knocked out. Turned his back on the referee when he was doing the count.
Remember that?
Yeah, but surprising that that's not surprising. It shows how far you could drop from dominating a fight. It's a 10-round fight. You got to be good with the full 10 rounds.
Yeah, no, this is boxing. And I guess this again goes to highlight how some of the really good stars, the Mayweathers, the Hopkins, and going forth, this doesn't happen to them. It shows how good they are because look, Harrison was a prospect, still can come again. Yeah. But I guess it's tough on the undercard of a good fight in terms of Thurman Collazo. You getting knocked out when you're supposed to go and dominate, and he was dominating the fight.
He looked beautiful. He looked beautiful.
He looked tired though. I thought he was gassing.
Yeah, the last 2 rounds he looked tired apart.
And that's where experience stays on you. Experienced people. If you don't. Like we always said, when you're fighting someone old, make them look old. Yeah. So the first 4 or 5 rounds, put it on them, let their legs go, like a Rocky Footing did to Vera. He didn't do that. He let Nelson stay in the fight. Yeah. Nelson was there.
And Nelson's huge for bloody 154, 6'3".
You know what I mean?
154 pounds, ridiculous.
You're talking Hitman.
Main event, Collazo Thurman. I thought Thurman showed amazing levels, and for guess what? Thurman's improved. He's grown. He's definitely number 1 in the division.
Get out of here. No chance. Absolutely no chance.
That was up until round 4.
Oh, okay.
And then round 5 happened.
Yeah.
The first 4 rounds, Collazo could barely land a glove on him.
Yes.
I mean, he made Collazo look amateurish at points.
Yeah.
And then round 5 came.
Yeah.
And Thurman was badly hurt. Was lucky, I would say, to survive. He was buckled over, knees went down. Didn't touch the floor, but his knees went completely down and survived the 5th round. 6th round, didn't do much even in the 6th round, survived the 6th round, then came out. And then Collazo quits on his stool for a cut of the eye. He said to the cornerman and to the doctor, I can't see. You want to stop the fight? Doc, I can't see. That means stop the fight.
Yeah.
I never thought Collazo would have quit for a cut, especially in a fight that he seemed to be cutting back into.
You know, it's strange with Collazo because look, if Collazo quit after the first 4 rounds, you can look. I can't see Collazo quitting, but I can understand it because he was getting completely outboxed. Yeah. Like you just said, he couldn't land a glove on Thurman, and I guess for him, he's probably thinking this is only going to get worse. Yeah. So I'm going to use the eyes as an excuse to kind of say, you know what, I'm done, so I can have another fight in the fall. For him to do what he did in the 5th round, and still be there in the 6th, and then to quit after the 6th doesn't actually make any sense to me.
It was a 6 or 7, something like that.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me. And like you said about Thurman, again, people might say now he's weak around the body, but
it was a good shot.
But he looked gone.
No,
he was out of there, by the way.
Yeah.
He was out of there.
Definitely.
And I've never thought Collazo was a big puncher. So again, once you step up to this kind of level, people will be looking at for small holes in you. And I'm not trying to say that's a hole against Collazo, but if you're a Brook, if you're a Porter, even if you're an Amir Khan, especially what he done against Collazo, you're looking at performance thinking, okay.
It's funny you say that because like body shots is not really about power, it's about positioning.
Yes. Once it get you right there.
It's about positioning, so it's not the thing. I thought Thurman done good to survive, and it showed fighting heart. Where like I said, he could have gone down because he literally went right down to like maybe jump before his bum hit his heels. Yeah. And then he got back up and recovered. So he's got fighting heart, he's got fighting spirit. So I think for him as a fighter going forward, it gives him something inside to, yeah, I know I could do that now.
Yes.
But it was not good to see him get hurt like that.
I've always said question marks over Thurman. I mean, you've been very high on him, understandably so. Performances have been good. But I said, let me see what happens when he steps up to levels. And so far, I'm seeing signs of the guy that could be the next welterweight king. Just signs of it. I'm not seeing... It's like... We've got this Pacquiao-Mayweather thing where Pacquiao-Mayweather are gone in the next sort of 12 months. We know that. And we'll talk about Pacquiao saying he's coming back later. It's like, who wants to get this second spot? No one seems to... Everyone seems to be kind of like... Oh, you know what I mean? We saw Broner the other day. It's like, okay, we saw Carnell, Jerry. Yeah. Even Brooke, Gavin... I mean, Brooke didn't look fantastic against Gavin. It's like no one seems to want to say, I'm snatching that.
Again, I'm not, but like I said, we done our welterweight rankings a few months ago, and obviously I got a lot of stick for who I had ranked up, and I told everyone that you got to understand that the division changes every fight. The way everyone's fought now, the top guys that's fought in the division right now, us now officially have no favourite or no top ranked contender
against each other. I agree.
Because they've all fought good opposition, but not marquee opposition, and no one's really shining. That was it. The good thing to mention though, like I said, guys, we don't. Even though I like a Thurman, we didn't mention Thurman's belt, but he's got another little WBA regular rubbish. You know what I'm trying to say? Don't count that stuff.
Yeah, no. Yeah, no one actually looks at him as a champion.
No, but that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, you got to be fit, you got to look it.
I didn't even know he had that belt.
Okay, guys, so much news this week. I do not know where to start.
Should we show them quickly?
Oh, this is ridiculous.
Should we show them? Sorry. You're right. I don't know if you can see it at all. That's Ryan and his news.
Alright, then.
So this might be a long one, people. So buckle up, get your ice cream, and tune in. No, get your popcorn. Sorry.
Yeah, your popcorn. Yeah. Alright then, let's start with Klitschko Fury's on.
It is. So much interesting stuff about this Klitschko Fury fight.
So much. Okay,
we might get banned here. We might lose some press passes.
Here's what I'm concerned about right now.
Yes, sir.
Okay, not concerned. Happy the fight's on. Fight's going off in October.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I think it's a really good fight. Even though you guys know I think it's going to win already, but
it's a good fight.
It's a very good fight, and Fury could cause a lot of problems for Vladimir.
Yes, I agree.
And like I said, and you know I ranked Fury quite high now
in terms of his skill set.
His skill set. But let's go to the purse bids.
Okay.
They couldn't agree.
Yes.
For months on end, they couldn't agree.
Yes.
Yeah. At the half hour before, they come to agreement. After Matchroom Sports said they're getting involved with the purse bids. Yeah. Yeah. And they were going to put in reportedly 9 or 10 million.
Which wouldn't have won.
Wouldn't have won, but it's a threat.
10 million is a big threat. 10 million is like, we're here.
Hurinov says he's going to put in
Tell the people might not remember who Hurinov is. Who's Hurinov?
Yeah, Hurinov is the big European promoter, banker, the guy that paid 23 million for Vladimir versus Povetkin. Povetkin's his fighter.
Yeah.
Hurinov is the same guy that has chewed enough with Chris Eubank for.
Yes.
He's actually good friend of Frank Warren. Yes. And he was there with an £18 million check. 18 million for not just for him, on behalf of Frank Warren as well.
Okay.
So he was quite upset, saying that he thinks it's dodgy dealing because they couldn't make an agreement. I think they knew, i.e. K2 and Hennessy, there was an opportunity they could lose this fight, but they weren't too sure and they knew the bids were big for people coming in. Yeah. So they made a deal quickly to just finalise all the details. But what not concerning me, but what I was surprised about is that Hennessy's been working a lot with Frank Warren. Tyson Fury's been showcased a lot on Box Nation, and we've been to the press conferences with Frank Warren and Hennessy. It seemed like a joint promotion. Hennessy went in by himself, and this fight is actually a Hennessy fight and K2, not a Frank Warren.
Yeah.
This fight is not going to be on Box Nation. It's going to go to Channel 5, BT Sports, or Sky. But all that work that Frank Warren was doing and promoting Frank Fury and saying this is going to be the biggest fight, we've been there with Frank Warren when they said they're going to get, when they get Vladimir, this is the plan and so and so. That plan's out the window.
Yeah, it's a strange one. It's a very strange one because, like I said, everywhere that Tyson Fury's been, look, Mick Hennessy's his promoter. We kind of know that. Yeah. But I've been to press conferences where it literally has been Tyson Fury, Frank Warren, and Mick Hennessy is literally on the 4th or 5th seat of the corner. Yeah. And you're like, oh, is Mick Hennessy Tyson Fury's fighting anymore, or is Frank Warren gonna?
Do you remember the one we went into the press conference up in the hotel in West End? And Mick was sitting about 2 seats from us. Yeah. He wasn't even on the main table.
Oh yeah. So it clearly, whether or not it was written in paper, whether or not it was down in terms of a contract, Frank Warren was clearly Tyson Fury's promoter. His fights were on Box Nation. They were big things. I think people got news of this when I think it was I can't remember who it was in America. Some American news reporters said the fight is going to be shown on X and X, and it wasn't Box Nation.
Dan Rayfield.
Dan Rayfield said it's going to be shown, and I was like, what? Not on Box Nation. This is their biggest fight ever. Remember, we were talking about saying Frank Warren's going to make money no matter what, because if this fight's shown on Box Nation, it makes a killing. Because then you start selling the rights to every other country in the world, and it's a done deal.
Again, Mick Hennessy, as much as we like him, as much as a cool guy, cannot compete. The rumoured reason why the 3 fight weren't working out because they didn't like the split. That was the reason why it was delaying. I believe the split is what they agreed originally, because they had to sign this fight beforehand.
Yeah, I agree with that as well. Look, Tyson Fury won't mind so much. It's not really Tyson Fury. I think he gets paid what he gets paid. I think it's the promoters, it's the back end. And I think Hennessy's thinking, I need, for me to survive as a promoter, this is what I need it. This is the guy that's lost. He lost Carl Froch 5-6 years ago. He lost the girl. He's lost Chris Eubank. Gid Galahad's going through the issues and promotion. Who is there? Tyson Fury. He's one apple cart. I think he would have done anything to keep it. So he might not even be getting good money, but the fact it's on Channel 5 and he gets a little bit of the back end, he's happy.
I said last week on This Week in Boxing that Al Heyman taking Carl Frampton was a shout out to the UK stars that you got options.
Yes.
And we actually said when the girl left Hennessy, if there was an option for Al Heyman, would he have went?
Yes.
And we said yes.
We did say anyway.
Yeah. Then this week it announced that he's now signed a advisory deal with Al Heyman.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, which causes huge problems for Matchroom Sports, causes huge problems for Ambrose Mendy.
Why does it cause? Ambrose, I get, and that's going to be so complicated to understand, but Ambrose, again, why does it cause huge problems for Matchroom? Okay,
so obviously Al Heyman fighters fight on PBC. Their own brand, their own separate thing. Who's the girl promoter? Matchroom. He fights on Sky. Sky did not have a PBC. There's not a deal between PBC and Matchroom or whatever. So
we need to define what that advisory role means. Does that mean he's signed to Al Heyman?
No clarification. And again, Matchroom had not released a statement on it either, nor has Mendy.
I guess the thing for me, people are looking out there might think, oh, how's he signed? Most fighters only really do sign 3 or 5 fight contracts. That's just kind of what you do. Unless you're like Deontay Wilder and you sign a 10 fight contract. Most fighters, so he would have signed a 3 fight contract, and it would have been obviously world title. That, I'm shocked he's gone. I'm a bit shocked because to me, if I'm Eddie Hearn, I'm thinking your first fight was at Wembley, 80,000. I got you that fight. Your second fight was the undercard of Bellew versus Cleverly. Again, Sky pay-per-view. So that means you've got an underside of the pay-per-view money. And your third fight was a world title fight, which you won. I've delivered. On my end, I've delivered.
Al Heyman's made a statement now.
Oh, mate.
And like you said, I think a good point you mentioned is that you just stole a new world champion that's been on 3 of the biggest cards of his career. For you to do that, you must have offered him something.
For that guy to think, I'm going to leave. Because I mean, I was at the O2 Arena for the Kevin Mitchell Linares fight, and James DeGale came on the big screen. James DeGale was getting booed 2-3 years ago. And the crowd went nuts. And I was thinking, oh my God, James DeGale, George Groves, Wembley Stadium, it's going to happen. So he's messed up everything in that sense. So for you must have offered him something so lucrative that he's thought, I'm going. Whether it be his next fight on the undercard of Mayweather, I don't know. You offered him something stupid.
I know the girl was a little upset, maybe not in Matchroom, but I know he was upset that the Carl Froch fight didn't go through. And obviously they had the same promoter. He might feel there was favouritism going towards Froch and not to him.
Which I think there should be. I think there should be favouritism.
And boxers all have egos. You have to have an ego to be a fighter. And maybe the girl was maybe a little bit hurt. His ego was a little bit hurt. I guess what? I'm a world champion now, and I'm still not getting the type of credit and respect I deserve. If Froch is going, let him go. But he's still taking the limelight, still having all the press clippings. I'm world champ. One
thing we did say, yes, Eddie Hearn gave him these 3 amazingly, I think, good fights. I think all the fights were good. All put his name back up there. We don't know if he got paid for those 3 fights. That's one thing we don't know. We just talked about Thurman getting paid 1.5 million. Thurman doesn't even have a legit belt, and Thurman still hasn't fought, to me, a legit top 10. I mean, Guerrero, people could argue, is around there. We don't know. So, I don't know if the girl's getting 1.5 type of money. I don't think he's getting that kind of money.
No way.
You know what I mean? So he's probably thinking Thurman's getting that kind of money. I'm going.
Won the purse bids for Calio 5 versus Paul Butler. Apparently, Frank Warren contacted Matchroom Sports to try to negotiate the week before.
Yeah.
And they said no. Matchroom said no. We're going to purse bids, knowing again that I think that they were going to win the purse bid.
Yeah.
And for Frank, I don't know. He's building Box Nation.
Yes.
And he's building what he's trying to do. But we also know, like Frank has said, I'm trying to say, all these big events, all these things, it's not easy to fund by yourself. You've got to do everything, I'm trying to say. And Frank's the king of reinventing himself. Always got his fingers in, always trying to mix things up. But losing, well, it looks like he's lost a Fury fight.
Yeah.
They wanted Billy Joe Saunders and Andy Lee over in the UK. He said financially it worked out better in Ireland. Now to lose Paul Butler to fight Cal Yafai, and this match was already announced. It's going to be on Sky. It's not even like a disagreement. It's done. We won. We're taking over. I think Matchroom's making a very strong power play right now. Also, I think Frank, either he's going for a bad spell or he's been very unlucky. I don't know how to explain it.
I don't necessarily think there's anything wrong with losing the purse bids. I mean, why put up money when you know you haven't got almost the backing? Look, as good as Paul Butler is, I don't think people necessarily see Paul Butler fighting and I'm going to buy my Box Nation subscription. Yeah. This might work out well for Paul Butler in the sense that we've said Paul Butler needs exposure. We've said it. You can't get better exposure than fighting on Sky Sports against Cal Yafai. Yeah. If he wins, it's tick, tick, tick. Yeah. If he loses, it's not a great thing. But if he beats the Matchroom guy on the Matchroom card on Sky Sports for the British Commonwealth Europe, whatever title they're fighting for, then he's got the whole package. Then he can go back and build him. Yeah. I think for Frank, he's got to play it careful now. Look, he's never going to have the money to compete with Sky. Never going to have the money to compete with Matchroom. But if he can just forget going for purse bids, let Matchroom do all the building, let Matchroom put all the show on, take less of the money, but your fight gets exposure and might cause an upset, then it might work out well. Like Billy Joe Saunders, I think Billy Joe Saunders could beat Andy Lee. Then it works out well for him.
I understand what you're saying. I think it's a valid point. What I'm saying is that within a short period of time, 3 fighters you have, 2 marquee, i.e. Billy Joe and Fury, who you were associated with, and one of your former world champions, you've only got one of those 3 fights.
We've got to look at it like
so that's what I'm looking at. I'm saying that
we've got to look at look what's going on in America. Yeah. Right now, Frank Warren's top rank. Yeah. And Matchroom's Al Heyman. Yeah. And the way Al Heyman's just swallowing everyone, Frank Warren's just trying to. I think I don't want to say they're trying to survive, but they're trying to still stay relevant with a ship that is moving so powerful now. Yeah. In the way they just signed Martin Murray 3 weeks ago. Do you know what I mean? That's guy came off a good performance, a decent performance against GGG, and that ship is still sailing. I think they're hanging on Box Nation because they've got real good fighters and they put on real good cards. And for him right now, I think forget winning the first, and the cards are better than matches.
The cards are more competitive. More competitive matches on Box Nation. And Kathy Duva, our promoter of the year. Both love Kathy Duva. I think she's great for boxing. I think she does everything by herself. Love it. But she needs to be careful. And I mean this in a nice way. Obviously, Al Heyman's counterbooked her show for Kovalev. Kovalev versus Mohammadi, and Al Heyman's put on Shumanov versus what's that other kid's name? BJ Flores.
Has he? Shumanov versus Flores?
Yeah, on the same night. Yeah, and Cavaliers put a statement out saying that Al doesn't have a big enough card to compete with my card, or a big enough show to compete with my show. Obviously, talking about Kovalev. I think yes, she's right. It's a big enough. But you don't want to push buttons and wow up Al Heyman with the current TV process right now. Agree or disagree?
Agree, 100%.
You can say it to yourself, but don't put it out there.
Yeah, as much as I like Kathy Duva, and I like her because she's a small fish, and she might not want to be there. She's in not even in a big pond. She's a small fish in an ocean right now. And that Al Heyman, look. Top ranker are swimming for their lives. Golden Boy is swimming for their lives. She's smaller than those main events are. She has one marquee fighter. You know, Cunningham's gone. He's not even marquee. Kovalev has one marquee fighter. Al Heyman, if he wants, could just literally phone up 10 of his fighters and say, "Get ready. I've got you on a card. We're going now." And Kovalev's fight is it's a done deal. I mean, Kovalev's not fighting. He's fighting with Najib Muhammad, or I can't pronounce his name. That's not a marquee fight.
No, it's not a marquee fight.
That's not a marquee fight. Not many people are tuning in to fight to see that anyway. So she should be careful. I understand what she's doing because she's trying to be aggressive in the way she talks and her approach. But I just feel like do what you did last year. Yeah. Put on fights. Yeah. Stay cool. Yeah.
Can't stay under the radar. Stay under the radar. Everyone wrong.
Everyone you got the Hopkins fight and everyone thought Stevenson was going to get that fight. Yeah. Just do that and that works for you. Don't try and do what Don't go against your grain.
Yeah.
And she's going against the grain.
Okay, I'm going to give you a little bit of Mayweather news right now, but I'm going to start with the funniest one so far. Did you see that statement released by Anthony Mundine for Floyd Mayweather?
I did.
Yeah?
I did.
Did you laugh or did you cry?
Cried.
And laughed?
No, cried out of desperation.
Yeah.
And laughed at, stop it.
Yeah.
This, you know, this Mayweather fight thing now, has almost now become a case of money, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's always been about money, which is stupid. But I almost feel there's a few genuine fighters out there that think I can genuinely beat Mayweather. But in fact, there's other guys that think this is setting me up for life.
Yeah.
Mundine sounds like a guy that this will set me up for life.
Mundine's statement. I'm going to read you 3 paragraphs out of that. No, 3 lines.
Did he even say that I'm the Muslim he should be fighting? Not
yeah, he said that. But I didn't even put that one down. But here's 3 things Mundine said in this statement, which I thought was hilarious. Mundine said, "I'm crowned. I'm the best athlete of all time."
Because he came from rugby or something?
Yeah. I'm the best athlete of all time.
Yes.
He also said, "I have 6 losses, the same as you."
What 6 fights do you think Mayweather lost?
I don't know. You're doing amateur? Like, Mundine lost as a pro. This is not amateur. I don't know what he's talking about. He also said, which I thought was hilarious, that it's a 50-50 fight.
Yeah.
This is a 40-year-old Anthony Mundine who he's got some losses on his record. Didn't stand up cut, who couldn't punch. Good boxer, but couldn't punch.
Didn't think
knock him out.
Didn't think he put him down like 7 times recently. Or was that someone else? Joshua Clotty?
Yeah, come back and
Joshua Clotty put him down
like 2 fights ago.
Yeah, literally 2 fights ago.
Yeah.
So where's this come from?
I don't know.
Well, he's doing what we want. He wants people to talk about it.
Yeah.
He's winning.
As we talked about last week, the WBO was going to strip Mayweather of his world title.
Yes.
And they did strip him this week.
Yes.
For not paying the sanctioning fee, which was $200,000, and he did not relinquish the belts as agreed.
Yes.
LB's coming out with a statement saying that Floyd will not be dictated to. How are you being dictated to? You didn't pay the fee.
Yeah.
You didn't follow the rules. They took the belt.
LB, is LB a lawyer?
Want to be lawyer most probably.
Because he seems to think that he knows all these legal ramifications. Look, what they've done, I don't want to say they've made a power play, but I think the WBO have been so slack with Mayweather for so many years. Yeah. When they finally do say, boom, we're taking it from you, it's almost like a shock.
Yeah.
And I feel like, look, they've done exactly what they needed to. They should have done, Yeah, they should have done it for years with Mayweather. You don't fight your mandatories, we strip you. You don't pay your sanctioning fees, we strip you. I mean, what's the problem?
There's no controversy or no tricks around it. That's exactly what it is.
100%
Even though I don't agree with people stripping their belts, I think WBO done the right thing. Yeah. And then after that, the WBC released a statement saying, "Oh, Mayweather's fine. He's been loyal, like he's a pet puppy or something." Yeah. I mean, like, are you serious?
Yeah, it is strange. But one thing I will say is that I'm shocked that Mayweather, LB, Floyd Mayweather Senior's come out of it as well. Mayweather Promotions released statements about it. They seem to be very upset about the stripping. Yeah. And I thought Mayweather's the kind of person that, I'll be honest, I didn't think he cared about belts anymore. I thought Mayweather's gone way past belts.
Let's take it out of boxing for a second, yeah? If someone owes you £200, I want my money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let's forget about, the other belts. The WBO want to get paid.
Yeah. And why would you not want to get paid on the biggest payday of
all time? What I'm trying to say, if someone owes you money, you pay the money. Sticking with Mayweather lastly quickly, have you heard this rumour that Mayweather's next fight might be on CBS?
Okay.
Obviously, to capitalise, I think it's a good idea. I think it will capitalise on the whole Mayweather Pacquiao thing.
Yeah.
To give his fight to domestic TV. I mean, I don't think if Mayweather fights anyone now, the pay-per-view numbers will be particularly great, considering the last pay-per-view done over 500 million pay-per-view buys. So even if you get 2 million, that's a huge disappointment compared to 5 million.
It's a huge disappointment, but it's free money in a sense. I think it's good. Look, Mayweather, it won't be his last fight. We all think he's going to go for the number 5-0. But if it is, and it could be, why not for all your fans over all the years around the world say, look, here's a free fight. Yeah. I'm giving you a free fight. After you guys spent $100 for Pacquiao, and that was crap. Yeah. My sorry to you guys, here's my next fight free. And I think it'll be very nice if he does that. Which also means to me, it won't be a marquee name. It
wouldn't be a marquee name, but if he does a free fight now, then imagine when he comes back for his 50th fight. Yeah. He's got all those guys who go like, oh my gosh, he's coming back, blah blah blah. Yeah. He can make a killing on the pay-per-view after that. Say, what's it? Say, short-term investment, long-term goals.
Yeah, I get that.
You invest in it now, do it now, and then when you come back 6 months' time, a year's time, you make so much more money than you could even dreamed of.
And let's be honest, for Al Heyman, he's going to look at it and think, look, I've had so much trouble recently. Forget the ones him being sued, that's almost separate. But his backers are already talking about, some of them backing out. I mean, we talked about this last week and the week before. I mean, for his backers, they're probably thinking, look, we need a Mayweather fight right now. We need something. Okay, look, here's Mayweather for free.
Yeah.
We'll give you the biggest superstar of this generation, one of the biggest superstars of all time in boxing for free. Can't go wrong with that.
Definitely. Quick one on returns. Lucien Boot returns on the PBC card, August. Possibly at 175.
Don't know why. I watched him against
2 years.
I watched him against Carl Froch. I watched the fight the other day on YouTube. You know, just thought, let me just watch it. He's done.
Yeah,
he's done. It's a shame because I thought he was unbelievably good.
Yeah, really good. Also coming back September is Deontay Wilder. Rumored opponent is Chris Arreola if he wins next week against Fred Cassie.
I think Arreola should have changed his name to The Dream. Forget Nightmare, because you're no one's nightmare anymore. I mean, how he gets so many chances, I do not know. I mean, Klitschko, Thurman, who's the guy, the Polish guy that everyone was coming out that fought Klitschko as well that he fought? Adamek.
Yeah.
And now he's going to get Wilder. How many chances does this guy get?
Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, if I'm wrong. Didn't Arreola lose to Thurman?
Yes.
Then came back and fought
a few bums, that included Seth Mitchell.
Seth Mitchell, Seth Mitchell was never ever a prospect in my opinion.
Yeah.
I've said that.
Tried to dress like Tyson, that's why. Black boots, black shorts.
Then he got knocked out by Thurman again.
Yes.
Then he fought that fat guy a few months ago on PBC.
They're both fat.
And struggled badly, and we both said he's no longer can be ranked top 10 or top 15 because of terrible performance.
Keep going.
Then he's going to fight Fred Cassie, who's never ever been ranked in the top 15 or top 20 ever. And if he wins that, he gets Wilder. Wilder is more than a disappointment as it stands right now.
I think we said off camera that I feel that the Wilder bandwagon hasn't come to a halt, because that's wrong, because a halt means it was actually moving. It's just stopped and parked in a station somewhere.
Adrian Broner cuts a deal on the drink driving case.
Yes.
So he's not going to go to prison, does community services. Yeah. But at the same time, gets sued for the women gave me crap statement. So I guess
who sued him? Did he mention a name though? I don't think he mentioned a name.
A woman said she's been embarrassed and hurt and exposed and whatever. So I take it you win some, you lose some.
Yeah, he's been losing a lot recently. Adrian Broner. Honestly, he's stock has plummeted bigger than any fighter in recent memory I can think of, and not because he's so bad, because he was put so high.
Yeah,
I mean, he was put so high, and not just myself. I mean, I saw Max Kellerman and Teddy Atlas saying this guy could be the one that causes Mayweather a problem. Yeah. He was that high, and his stock has gone so far down. One thing I will say about Broner, and I don't know if it's because maybe he needs to move trainer and go to a trainer that work. He's not a defensive fighter. Yeah. He's not a defensive fighter, so I don't know if he needs to go to Robert Garcia and just be offensive, but he seems to last the distance. Every fight, 12 rounds, he seems to be the one that's fresher.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because he takes time off in rounds, but I mean, every fight I've seen him in the last 12 rounds, Maidana, he was coming on strong.
Yeah.
Porter, he put him down.
Yeah.
Emmanuel Taylor put Emmanuel Taylor down in that last round. Molina, he got Molina out there pretty easy. I just think
as much as I criticise him for being out of shape,
he's very fit.
He's very fit. He's very fit. I mean,
so there's something there.
I take it when he does put himself in training camp, he does dedicate himself. Mosley Mayorga signed for a fight that took place about 7-8 years ago, and if I remember correctly, that fight we both watched together, and Mayorga was winning that fight until the referee set him up in the last 10 seconds.
Well, so the scorecards didn't have him winning.
The scorecards didn't have him winning, but the referee's like, Mosley, hide behind my shoulder.
Yeah, Mosley, look, we've got a fight with your Margarito South.
Yes.
We maybe get your collar again.
Yeah.
If you hide behind the shoulder on the left, I'll set him up for you. That's what it seemed like. That's what it seemed like. It was like literally, they said break, and it was like break. Morgan was
boom. That time was 1 second left on the clock.
Yeah, it was an amazing, fight. But as much as we know the press conference is going to be the best thing ever since sliced bread, ever. I mean, the press conferences alone for Mayorga at pay-per-view. Best one ever. What's his best press conference? See me and you on the same page.
I don't know. The Vargas one was funny.
Can't beat it. The Vargas is the best builder. I mean, they had to do that metal plastic thing or something.
No. Did you see the one when
destroyed Cotto about his height all the time?
No. Did you see the one when he bloody with Corey Spinks?
Oh, he started talking about mum and
his mum. His mum passed away. I mean, that was cold.
He don't care.
That was cold. Okay, you mentioned it on Twitter this week, but it's now getting a lot of steam right now. Hopkins said in his last interview that his next opponent will be threatening, and then Hopkins done an interview with Reddy Rahim, and mention GGG.
Is that his name, by the way? Yeah. Is that your name? Radio?
No. It's just a hype from bloody do the right thing, innit?
Oh, okay, I was thinking, yeah.
Yeah. But then Hopkins said something said that when I was around at middleweight, I would have fought him for 50,000. Like, why are they ducking him for 2 mil? Which basically Hopkins saying, look, I'm old school. You're offering 2 mil to fight this guy? I'll take it right now. It will have to be at a catch weight around 168. Hopkins said he weighed 172 in that video. As much as I love Hopkins, I think it's a bad fight.
I think you're underplaying the bad. How many bads was that?
It's a bad fight.
That's more like it. That's about 7 bads. GGG. It's more than a bad match for Hopkins. Look, I like Hopkins, but it does get to a stage where you're 50 years old. You're fighting the guy no one wants to fight. You've just recently fought the guy no one wants to fight. People don't want to fight these guys for good reasons. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? GGG is not even like Kovalev. GGG's record says he's not like Kovalev. GGG to me is a better boxer. I think he's more of a one-punch finisher than Kovalev either. It's just such a bad... And you've got to go down in weight.
Yeah. Hopkins style...
How can you be trying to make weight at 50?
Yeah.
We can't make weight right now, Ryan.
Yeah.
Even the Hopkins are 44, 45. And that Hopkins was a very good Hopkins.
Yeah, that beat Pavlik, yeah.
The Pavlik is nowhere near in the league of a GGG or Kovalev. There's no... And even the Pascal's nowhere near for me in the league of a GGG or Kovalev. He's fighting. It's like he's gotten older and fighting better fighters as far as I'm concerned, and I think it's just too risky.
Hopkins is always fighting the best possible competition.
Yeah,
that's his moniker. That he fights the best. He's old school. He goes for everyone, which is a valid point.
It's not a valid.
No. It's a valid point. Yeah.
Why is it valid?
No, it's a valid point, but you have to call it a day sometimes. Yeah. Okay, stick with GEG quickly. GEG said this week that they're no longer. Andre Ward is no longer the A side. Yeah. So I will only go up to 164 to fight him because he's no longer a marquee player.
1,000,000,000,000% agree with that statement.
Yeah.
If Andre Ward can force Dawson to come down to 168, then Andre Ward, you come down a bit and see how it feels.
Yeah.
Why don't you try and do it? I think people forget that because Dawson made 168. Dawson doesn't mean he was a healthy 168. He killed himself to make that fight. Do you know what I mean? I feel like that's ended Dawson's career. It's still finished Dawson. Ward's never going to fight him. There's more chance, and I like Kovalev people release the same statement.
He said no, you got no catch weight. You come on 75.
He said we're not even fighting at 174.5.
Yeah,
you come all the way to 175. Get all his catch weights crap.
No, they're right. Yeah, I'll tell you why. Yeah, how can Andre Ward, who's a phenomenal fighter, ain't fought in 3 years, come back to fight Paul Smith? And I'm trying to say, then still saying he dictates to Thurman, he's this and he's that, he's that. Like I said, boxing changes every single day. In 3 years, the landscape has changed, mate. You know what I'm trying to say?
The landscape has changed big time. And even before, and I say it with all due respect, even before Hopkins went off this hiatus he went on because of whatever legal reasons, he still wasn't a marquee player. And he was a very, very good boxer. Yeah. Look, if you can go up to 172.5 to fight Paul Smith, you can go and eat a burger and fight Kovalev.
Yeah, exactly.
Go on a couple of 2.5 pounds.
Have 2 glasses of water.
2 glasses of water.
Yeah.
And go and fight Kovalev.
Yeah. Cotto versus Canelo. Oscar says, it's bigger than Trinidad versus Oscar. Yes or no?
Yes, and the only reason it is now is because we are struggling for fights racing.
Alright then.
Back then, that was the norm. When Trinidad fought Oscar, there was a big fight every other month. Right now, we are desperate for a marquee event.
Lomachenko says, guess what? We will fight Rigo. Yeah. Rigo says, where and when? That fight's a possibility. Who wins?
Because Rigo has to go up and wait for that fight, because Lomachenko's manager said he has to go up to 126.
Yeah, 126, yeah.
Lomachenko, I think, is a favourite. And I think Lomachenko is a favourite because Rigo's inactivity is not good. Rigo got put down in his last fight. Again, I started to see a few, and Rigo's like 30, what is he?
Mid-30s now.
He's getting on a bit, you know what I mean? So, I'm not sure if we're going to see the Rigo that beat Daenerys again. I'm not sure about that. And Lomachenko is strong, he's hungry, he can box as good as Rigo, and I think he's got a bit more pop. So, and at 126, I think that could be the advantage, but we're talking small things between two of the greatest amateurs of all time, hands down.
Not sticking on any one side, but I think Rigo throws crisper punches in single shots. I think Lomachenko is the better athlete, i.e.
just looks
faster, maybe he's a little bit stronger.
Bigger.
You know what I mean? But I think Rigo's craftier.
Yeah.
I think
interesting fight.
Yeah, I think if they were to fight, it would be who could dominate their style more.
Could be one of them horrible standoffs between two great amateurs. Could be horrible, or could be
explosive. If Lomachenko makes the fight fast paced, it plays in his favour. If Rigo could slow it down, and I'm trying to say, land the crisper, sharper counter punching, No, I mean Offset Lomachenko. Yeah, it'd be a great fight.
It'd
be a great fight. Roy Jones will be in England this week. He's gonna fight Tony Moran.
Yeah, in Liverpool.
In Liverpool. Yeah, so it'll be great to see the great Roy Jones over here. Joshua Dillian White apparently signed. 2 rumours though. One from the BBBFC saying it's going to be in September. Matchroom saying it's going to be November, December.
Yeah, it'll be November.
You think so?
Yeah, 100% November. I think they've said that Dillian White's been out the ring for quite a while now. Where he came out when he came off the drug ban.
Yeah.
He was very active and having like fight after fight. I think was it someone? I think he said his manager got injured.
He's got a small injury and he ain't fought since February. So
interesting fight.
Very interesting fight. Very interesting fight. And like we mentioned previously, they don't like each other. There's a legit beef there, and it's the first opponent Joshua's going to have that will actually throw back with bad intentions.
I disagree with that statement. People said that statement. So when they said that, I started watching all Joshua fights. People are trying to knock Joshua's head off. By the way, when you say bad intentions, no one's throwing jabs at him.
No. He's in legitimate fights, Joshua. Yeah. But again, they've been matched well. Like Sprott, yes, he's a real fighter. Yes, he's a real dude. But it's a very old Sprott. Yeah, same thing like Kevin Johnson, who's a very defensive fighter. We can see how he could give problems, but I mean, he's got actually someone in Dillian White who is like him, who's young, who's a modern heavyweight, about 6'4". I'm trying to say, who could punch. He's big. Yeah, he's that big. He's about 6'4".
Okay.
Yeah. He could punch. He goes forward. He's not scared to take a shot. It's someone that's actually one of his actual peers. You're not fighting a guy that, again, no to Michael Sprott, that ain't been ranked and has lost maybe 7 of his last 10 fights.
Yeah. I love the fight and I can't wait for it to go down, but I'm bloody big on Joshua, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
And not just because he's Nigerian, might be, don't know, could be Nigerian. Is that why you're big on Dillian White? Because the Jamaican, he's even got a bit of, you can still see it here, the twang. When did he come over then? How long has he been over? You can hear it.
For years, but some people just hold it.
Look, I'm playing with you, I get what you mean, really and truly. We're going to have someone who's going to throw back, and he's going to throw back bad intention. He's as big as Joshua. He's a road boy. You know, sometimes they're going to sound stupid, but all you road men, I'm not a road man anymore. Might have been in my younger days, but you know what I mean? You know when you've got someone that's road?
He
is road, isn't he? Aggressive. And I feel like he will throw bad intentions, and it's a good fight. Joshua. Alright, any fights this week?
Yeah, we've got the Matchroom card next week, high stakes, which features Quigg versus Kiko Martinez. Cruller versus Darlis Perez.
Who have you got on that fight? We haven't done a video. We'll do it, but who have you got quickly?
Honestly and truly, I think I'll go for Perez, I think.
Alright,
I'm not sure.
Okay,
go. Also in America, you've got PBC card, I think. You've got
your favourite friend?
You've got Chavez Jr. versus...
I know he's with Robert Garcia now, so I think that helps him. By the way, hopefully we can do a video on that this week, but I think that helps him.
Also got on the undercard Chris Arreola versus Fred Cassie. Also got the Jackal Carl Frampton next week as well.
Is he next? Bloody hell!
Next week?
It is, 18th.
Yeah. So and
I think we've got Abraham Stieglitz. 7. They're trying to do the money back on Marquez thing.
That's like Rocky though.
That's ridiculous, them two.
Yeah. Okay, so that's next week. Also, by the time you watch this, if you're still watching the M, by the time you watch it, there should be Boxtalk merchandise on eBay, which I'll add in the link by the end of the day. Yeah, and we've decided 100% now, competition time. So I might as well say what the competition is now. No, take your side. I ain't decided my side. You decided your side? I thought you were going to do it. I need to test. I need to test my numbers. Yeah, you do as many as you want in it. Let's see what's still got. Go ahead, Addy. You're doing now. I'm doing dips. So look, literally, how many tricep dips? You know the bar dips. How many can I do? I'm gonna give you guys a clue. At my best. No, don't give no clue. No, at my best. I'm gonna give a clue. This is unfair. At my best. Nah, I ain't gonna give you guys a clue. Yeah, don't give no clue. How many can I do? So if you get it right on the nod, well done. But if the closest to it, we'll get a t-shirt. We'll put closest to it, and we'll put all the winners, the names in a hat, and put it out next week. Yeah, so the closest to it. So we'll reveal all on This Week in Boxing next week Sunday. All right, there you go, guys. So my one now. How many dips? Get your numbers in, and t-shirt will be sent out ASAP to the winner. And I'll try and put the video up as well to prove that I might be a bit weighty, but I can do dips. No, there has to be video evidence for everything. Yeah, and I can do some dips, by the way. Ain't gonna be like, I'll give you a clue now. Ain't 1 or 2. All right then. All right, there you go, guys. Thanks for watching another This Week in Boxing. It's a big one. Sorry. This is probably like 45 minutes. I don't know, whatever I can edit it down to, but thank you. Subscribe, tweet, Instagram, all the usual. Thanks a lot. Cheers.